happening? What is happening? Welcome to Roundtable Sessions. Higher Life. We are back, baby. My name is Daniel. I am your host. I'm part of Brightline. Thank you so much for joining us today. I got some special guests with me. We got some new people around the table as well. You might have seen them before. I'm going to start with my left, which is your right. I got the one and only, the lovely Clarissa. Clarissa, tell us who you are. What band are you part of? What do you do? Go for it.
Hello, I'm Clarissa. I play bass in the band Amongst Wolves. We're a pop rock band. Yeah, that's what I do.
Sick. Is it fair to say that you are the best musician in your band?
No.
You're not. Is it not fair? Or
Not fair and not true.
That's what I heard.
I heard that she is the...
Just before actually we came on, that was your last words.
Clarissa actually said, you know why I got asked to be in Roundtable Sessions? Because I am the best musician in Amongst Wolves. So
She's so humble.
She's so humble.
Yeah.
She's so humble, which is true. She is an incredible muso. And then we got the one and only John. John, tell us who are you and what you do, bro.
My name is Jonathan William Sewell, and I am a singer and rapper in the band called Soulbox.
Wow.
And that is a thing I do, and I am there, yes.
Where are you from?
Yeah.
I'm originally from a town called Rugby, but I moved to London when I was like 18, 19.
Okay.
So I have a weird amalgamation of different accents, I guess. Yeah. And then I moved to Manchester, which is where we are currently right this moment.
We are currently
4 years
live
ago,
in
I moved to Manchester.
Wow.
To be part of a band called Soulbox, which I'm the singer and rapper in.
I feel like you said that already. Wait, how long have you been here now in Manchester? And as in part of the message, obviously Manchester been for.
Part of the message, 5 years. In the band, 4 years.
Wow.
Crazy. Cool. To my right, to your left, we have Aiden. Aiden, tell us what you do, who are you, where you from?
Hey, so I'm Aiden Christian Herbo. I am from North London, and I am much like John, except less of a singer. I am a rapper and singer for the band OTC. Although singer I say lightly. If I haven't got auto-tune, then I'm just a rapper, innit?
That's good. That's good. Where's your surname from, bro?
It's French.
Speak French.
No, not really.
Ne parlez français, un petit peu. Un petit peu.
Je n'ai pas les petites. Je n'ai pas très bien. I was getting it.
He does not. He does not. He does not.
Really. Je n'ai pas les pas très bien les français pour le moment. I got there.
Oh, you're like Lucy Engels with Welsh. Anyway, and then coming for it's good to have you, bro. It's good to have you. And for second week coming back, we got what I think is the best drummer in the world.
Oh yeah.
The one and only Joseph Barrow. Tell us who you are, what band you're part of, and what you do.
I am Joseph Barrett, and I am the drummer in Brightline. That's it. That's all I have.
Amazing. Cool. So today we're going to be doing some cool stuff. We're going to be chatting about some stuff that's trending. But I want to know, what have you seen in the news this past week that's kind of tickled you, made you laugh? You're like, that is an odd piece of news. Start with you, Aiden. What are you saying, bro? What did you see on the news this week?
I'm still trying to get over that French speaking bit. I've not started like that in my life. I did see a really interesting story just earlier this week, and it's about, I can't remember the gentleman's name, but apparently for the past decade, that's 10 years, he's been getting pizzas constantly delivered to his house.
Every day?
Like, yeah, like apparently, I think it was like every Thursday or something, but apparently he's been so consistent that he's felt like he's not been able to sleep at night, is what I was reading, because he keeps getting people knocking on his door and ringing on his doorbell. I wouldn't complain personally.
I don't understand.
Someone's been ordering pizza to his address.
Someone has been...
Sorry, it's because I speak French. I wasn't. My English is
your second
English is my second language.
I've got the guy's name. The guy's name is Jean Van Landegem.
Yes.
He's 65 years old in Turnholt, and he says delivery drivers bring pizza to his house at all hours and day and night.
That is amazing.
Imagine.
That is like the best practical joke ever.
That's even better. Someone keeps...
Who has the money to be that kind of prank for a decade?
10 years. That's a lot.
How much is a pizza? I'm just figuring this out.
Same pizza place.
I don't know if it is.
Is it like Domino's?
Surely he'd be able to
by then
trace where it's coming from.
the workers must be like, I'm
whoever's
going
putting
here.
that prank, Well done. I salute you.
Must be Donald Trump. Anyone with that kind of money.
It's a lot
Let's
of
say
money.
what,
It's a lot of money.
like £10 a pizza, yeah? £10 a pizza
crazy.
times 52. Let's say that's once a year, yeah? Right, okay, let's figure this out. Times 52. 10 is 520. All right,
The
chill
maths
out.
is wrong. It's once a week.
520.
52 weeks in the year, so it's once a week. If it's times 52, it's not once a year.
All right, once a week, right? 52.
That's 520.
520
Yeah.
times 10 is like $5,500 on pizza. That's a practical joke. That was what I was trying to figure out. Sorry.
Well, John, what have you seen in the news this week?
Mine didn't involve maths. No, what I saw in the news, was Logan Paul. We all know the YouTuber Logan Paul, right? One of the biggest YouTubers in the world. He is gonna have a boxing match against Floyd Mayweather.
I saw that.
I don't understand what's going through his head.
52-year-old Floyd Mayweather. Well, people are saying it's because he's running out of money. So he calls himself.
Floyd is running out of money.
Yeah, so they call him Moneymaker Floyd Mayweather, right?
Yeah.
And basically, what's happened is he's known for spending his money, like all his wealth, but apparently he's spent all of it. So now he needs to keep doing these exhibition matches. Because you remember he did one against Ewan McGregor.
Ewan McGregor.
Ewan
It
McGregor.
wasn't Ewan McGregor.
Not Ewan, Conor McGregor.
Ewan McGregor. Who's Ewan McGregor?
Ewan
McGregor's the
McGregor,
actor.
imagine. Is he actor? And he used
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
There's a lightsaber out during the fight.
halfway through.
It's the lightsaber out.
You know what's funny? My brain has just stopped working since we've been on. I love Conor McGregor. Anyway, so Conor McGregor is not fighting. He fought Floyd Mayweather, made loads of money. Basically, this YouTube boxing thing is now becoming something that makes so much money that now arguably the greatest boxer of all time, certainly one of the best records, 50 wins, no losses, his whole professional career, and he's fighting Logan Paul, who's lost one fight, and that was against ASI.
It might not be money orientated. I know there's a lot of people that don't like Logan Paul. Maybe just taking his boxing ability to just be like, I don't like this guy.
So I'm going
putting him in the ring.
I'm pretty confident.
I'm pretty sure it's not going to be money.
I mean,
Nice.
I think it might be.
Making Mayweather more relevant again.
Yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe you're right, actually. Maybe it does
It's a
just make
win-win.
him way more relevant.
Yeah.
What are you saying, Clay? What
Well-
have you seen this week that's like made you laugh?
So I saw that there was a man who had 2 pet geese, and he went to the pub with them, and he put little nappies on them, and just went for a pint.
What?
And they were called Norbert and Beep Beep.
If that is not the most British thing I've ever heard.
Right?
Why did they have nappies?
To not
You don't want
pee.
dog poo in your thing.
Yeah, in the
I mean,
pub,
that's
you get kicked
thinking.
out.
That's the one bit of that story that makes the most sense to me.
Did the ducks drink? Did they give him?
Wait,
No, I
You
don't
can't
think
pause
so.
a
toilet train a
second.
duck. You can't toilet train a goat.
wait, took him to the pond.
No, the pub.
Oh! That's why I was confused.
English not your first language.
English, my second language as well. I thought you said there was this guy that took the 2 geese to the pond and he went for a pint and put a nappy on them. I'm like, why would you put a nappy on them?
What is going on?
That's why I would the shock. That is,
Yeah, the pub.
that's probably the most British thing I've ever heard.
That is very British.
Yeah.
I heard one like that where apparently drank a bit of a pint and had a fight with the owner's dog. Saying the guy had brought his geese and his dog in and they fought each other because apparently the
Oh,
geese were
Beep,
drunk.
Beep was there getting in the beef, and then Norbert comes in. Y'all split it up, guys.
story.
Split it up.
Encouraging it.
All right, split it up. Putting his wings in the way. Chill out, boys.
What are you saying, Joe?
That's funny.
My piece of news I saw, I don't know if anyone else saw this, but a load of people went to see, you know, the Hogwarts train? It's like it's a real train. And so loads of people, apparently. So a load of people went, because like the train was going past at a station, so they all queued up and they all gathered at this train station to watch like this famous train go past. So they've been waiting for a while and they were really excited. They all had their phones out, ready to take photos and see the Hogwarts train in real life. And just as the train was coming into the station, on the other track, just a bog standard normal passenger train goes past, and it's like a really long one, and so they completely miss the Hogwarts train, and by the time the passenger train goes past, the Hogwarts train is already past them in the distance.
See them really
Couldn't see any of
I
it.
saw that.
See any of it. Yeah.
So funny.
That's gutted. I saw this one which is really bizarre. Obviously, wherever we go, we need to wear masks. If you're on public transportation, you need to wear masks. And there was this one guy on a bus that was wearing a mask, but he got questioned about his mask because it was a snake. He had a snake wrapped around.
Like a live snake.
It was alive.
A snake, snake
does not
skin,
sound
snake
wise.
skin, and then wrapped around. And then someone said, "Excuse me, you can't that's not a mask, you need to wear a mask. He goes, oh, I'm wearing a snake skin.
gosh.
And he goes, and then I think the conductor said, yeah, that is okay, but the body is still attached to that snake skin. So literally the guy had a snake wrapped around his neck and mouth and using it as a face mask.
creative.
It's alright, mate. I can't breathe. Don't worry about it. Like, getting...
And
It's creative.
So what? It was an actual
An
snake,
actual snake,
like
just
full
wrapped-
intact.
Yeah, just wrapped around.
Oh, it's so
wrapped
weird.
around.
Sounds dangerous.
I would be
snake.
concerned about the snake.
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
concerned about the guy's health more than the snake.
That's what I mean.
I don't care.
Yeah,
about
yeah, that's
okay.
what I meant, yeah.
Although, just
Killing
practically,
it.
right, taking all the ethics of that out of it, just practically, I reckon that a snake body would catch a sneeze better than a small piece of fabric.
You know what?
Practically,
You
it
should
probably
do a
makes
bit
more
of
sense.
scientific research on that.
Mate, next week. Next week.
Maybe
Next
that could
week's
be the
episode.
next roundtable discussion. The
Yeah.
ethics or non-ethics of actually utilizing. Anyway, no, we're not going down that route. We're not going down that route. But then I don't know if you guys saw it. So there's this thing training, and this is what we're going to kind of chat a bit. We're going to chat a bit. Second language, mate. So there's something we're going to chat in this next like 20 minutes. This thing that's trending on TikTok called manifestation. So there's this whole thing, #manifestations, and a lot of it is to do with, positive thinking. I remember it's kind of like the law of attraction. I remember in 2006, that's how old I am. I remember reading this book called The Secret. There was this big book came out called The Secret. It was on Oprah.
Yeah,
Oprah was
I remember
gassed
that.
about it. I remember I used to watch Oprah every day because I used to always think that the people that she had on her panel were really interesting. Anyway, and there's the whole thing about you think about something and then that thing will come into existence. And I'm saying if you think too hard, boom, it will happen. So it feels weird because that was like back in the day, and apparently this is something from the 19th century, right? A new kind of new age type of thinking. But it's interesting that that whole kind of thing has come back, and it's big with millennials and Gen Zers. So our age group, really. I'm just bang in the middle of millennials. Don't. You're the same, Joe. You're the same.
I don't know, mate.
I am bang in the middle
Yeah, I don't know if you're
of
millennial.
millennials. Aiden is kind of
I thought you were a baby boomer. No?
But anyway, manifestation is a big thing with Gen Zers and millennials. What are your thoughts? Have you come across this whole thing about manifestations? What if you have any thoughts about it?
Yeah, I
Right.
think it's super interesting. Like just the timing of everything. That actually, obviously, COVID is this massive thing right now, and we're kind of. I mean, everyone's kind of on edge. Everyone's kind of like, oh, this world is super chaotic, and like we're out of control. We don't know what's going on. And actually, for this thing to come about, where people can be in control of their futures, of what they want in their life. I think it's really interesting that it's become such a big trend right now. It kind of makes sense to me that it would, in a time of such chaos, that actually people are searching for something that kind of makes sense
For
almost.
sure. I guess it's because you're totally right. They've not been in control of this. No one has been in control of it. Not been allowed to go out. I mean, you can go out now, but in the first months of lockdown, especially here in the UK, you're not allowed to go out, you're not allowed to do anything. And now this is giving you an opportunity to think of stuff, and then you believing that stuff will happen.
Yeah.
And I guess it's a bit of an escape, isn't it? What about you guys? Have you had any thoughts on this whole manifestation stuff?
Yeah, I've had a couple of thoughts. I think I've been looking at both the positives and the negatives for it, because I can see why it could be quite a good thing. I can understand that people can be, rather than focusing on like, oh, I can't get there, I can't be that successful, instead they're coming in with the mindset of being like, oh, I can do that if I put my mind to it. It's like Arnold Schwarzenegger, the actor. He literally put his mind to what being a mayor became a mayor, being an actor became an actor, being a bodybuilder became a bodybuilder. Like, he really went all out with it. And I assume a lot of that was him speaking over himself. But then also, I think it can promote that good way of thinking, but also sometimes I'm like, how much of it is going to promote arrogance or pride, and even sometimes just like delusion in a way, because you're basically saying to yourself, I am this, before you actually are that thing. Like, I am a pop star, or you know what I mean, I am a rock star. Sometimes I think anyway, you might be feeding them into the mindset of like, I'm better than you, or I'm a star kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? I'm up here, and actually,
Okay, that's
Yeah.
interesting.
if that makes sense.
I think with it, there's like, it's like there's an element the thing that's quite scary about it, I think, is there can be an element of almost like delusionality, if that's a word. It's like you end up thinking like, oh, I'm now this person, and you're not necessarily that person. So I think it's interesting. I think it's interesting that, like, you know, the success stories. I would question the success stories. And the reason's because, like, the pop star one probably, I'd imagine, is quite a real one that a lot of people would want. 10,000 people say they want to be a pop star, and then if one of them becomes a pop star, it doesn't necessarily mean that thinking put them in that place. It could be that they just worked really hard at it. I think it's probably good if, it depends how you define the manifestation, doesn't it? If you define like manifestation more as, you know what, this is something I believe I'm going to do and I'm going to work really hard to get to it. Like, I remember when I wanted to be a rapper, I hustled. I hustled.
You know,
I worked hard.
You learned the craft.
Exactly.
Same thing you learning your instruments.
Yeah.
You know, I remember
Exactly.
learning piano. I'm like, I really want to get good at this, so I had to rehearse, and rehearse,
Exactly.
and rehearse.
Exactly. And at that point, it's like, if that's what it is, if that's what someone going, if it helps you to say, I am this in order to work towards it, I don't necessarily see an issue with that, because that's just a language thing, right? Like, kind of going, right, this is something that I'm going to do. But if it's this delusional aspect of I am this when you actually aren't that thing and you live it out, I think that's quite scary. I think that's a scary thing for people to do. So yeah, but I agree with Clay as well. I think, like, it's not a surprise it's happening now.
Yeah, for sure.
With no one having any control.
For sure.
It's like, that's just going to be like an inevitability. It makes me sad though.
Yeah. Do you think there's dangers to this? I mean, is there a dangerous element to people wanting to manifest?
I wonder if one of the dangers is, like, you just get stuck on this wishful thinking thing where you're just hoping something will happen with your life, or you're just hoping and wishing away your life, and then nothing happens. But I wonder if it's interesting, because as soon as I heard about the manifestation stuff, it got me thinking about prayer, because as Christians we pray, right, don't we? And I was like, okay, cool, what's the difference between manifestation and like prayer? And I think manifestation is kind of, like we've already said, it's wishing for something and it's hoping something for yourself. It's kind of, maybe it could be quite a selfish thing, really.
Definitely,
It's
I would say
selfish,
it's
isn't
very
it?
selfish.
It's about what you can gain.
What you can get.
It's what you can.
Well, and it's something where you're just hoping for the best. Well, I think prayer, it's not hoping for the best, it's putting your hope in God, who's like a surefire foundation. It's completely different. And it's not selfish, it's putting it on God and saying, you know what, God, you want the best for me. Look, I have all these desires, there's all these things that I want to happen in my life, but I'm giving them to you, Jesus. I would love if those things happen, but I'm giving it to you. And I'm saying, like, your will be done. In other words, kind of like, I want what you want to happen.
It's like if you want, like, I remember when I was a kid, I wanted chocolate all the time. But if I ate chocolate for every meal constantly, that wouldn't be good for me, would it?
Yeah,
That's
be
not a
good with
good
us.
thing. I'd end up sick, it would be horrible. And I think that's where that difference is, isn't it? Is if we just get what we want, it's like, I could want 100 girlfriends, for example. That doesn't mean it's good for me or good for them. And if I wish that into existence, it's just weird. It's just weird.
I get what you mean.
And also, it's like, it's this belief in the universe, isn't it? That I really struggle with. Is like, it's this belief that
Ethereal
there's
thing,
almost this, like this thing that's around us is gonna, like, fulfill my dreams. It's just, you know, I haven't got a conclusion to that, but I just think that is such an odd thing.
Because that's what exactly. Because that's what we're trying to do is, I guess, people are putting their faith and their trust in the universe and this big cosmic thing. And I'm thinking, man, as a guy that follows Jesus, like all of us around this table, why would I want to put the trust on something that was created if I can put the trust on the one that created that thing that everybody else? You know what I'm saying? I'd rather put my trust and my faith in, not saying that God do the stuff that I want you to do, like a genie type of guy. You know what I'm saying? Because that's a danger as well. But I'm like, I'm putting my trust on the Creator, putting my trust in God.
Not only that, not only is he the creator, but he's the person who loves you more than anyone else and wants the best for you
exactly.
no matter what.
Exactly.
So it's not only that, it's also going, and that's what prayer is, it's going, I put this over to you. You know what's best.
Exactly.
You've got my best at heart, and your main concern is me. Right? You know, the universe doesn't do that.
No, it doesn't at all. So interesting thing and then about prayer, because we all pray, right?
Yeah.
We've all prayed at some point. We've probably all prayed today as well, which is literally the same way I'm chatting with you. We chat with God. Have you ever had an experience where you prayed and you feel, or someone prayed for you and you felt like something happened?
Yeah, I've some cool experiences with that. I know growing up I used to do 100-meter sprint, and I used to put a lot of time and dedication into that. And I remember one day playing football, I broke my left knee, and after holding all my sats fat, you know what I mean, trying to build up for this 100-meter sprint, I couldn't do that anymore. That went from me, and then I damaged my right knee as soon as, literally, with this story, right, I had a cast up to my hip all the way down to my ankle for like maybe 2 months. I finally came off the cast, a few months in, I let my left leg heal, and then I tried going running again, and then I did my right knee instead.
Hey.
Right in the cartilage. Okay, when that got healed a few weeks later, I ended up going to a gig, went in a mosh pit, did the same thing to my right knee again. So I was on crutches for like a year, bro. And I just had to basically live like that for a long, long time. And it wasn't until, I think it was last year, January, no, 2 years ago, January in 2019, I have a lovely German friend who asked if he could pray for my knees. And I was like, yeah, please. He prayed for my knees, and I had like this warmth. I wasn't able to squat at all, pretty much. And straight after you prayed to him, I felt this warmth in my knees and like this tingling. And immediately after that, I could squat down, didn't click. I was able to like, even with weights now, you know what I mean? I can lift things and stuff again. So that change was,
so good.
was incredible.
That's so good.
Yeah.
Wow, amazing. And anyone else had any, it doesn't have to be, I mean, that's an amazing story. Anyone else had an experience of prayer where they prayed for someone or prayed
Yeah.
for someone?
I've seen all like wicked healings of people's knees and legs and like I know one woman was in crutches and then I prayed for her. It was just on the street. First of all, I went and I bought a load of food for her because she had no food. So I went and bought her a weekly shopping and whatever. And then we went outside and I said, you know, because healing, my interpretation of what God's healing is he heals us physically to show how much he loves us so that he can heal us spiritually as well. But that's what he wants. He wants us to be in relationship with him. And prayed, and then she started like, she got all her shopping bags and lifted them above her head. She dropped the crutches. It was mad.
Yeah.
But Joe, sorry, mate.
I was just trying to think. I think, I love the healing ones as well. And what am I saying? Yeah, one that it's not healing, so I don't know why I talked about healing then. It's one time I remember walking down the street and I didn't have much money at the time, and I kind of like we as Christians, we believe that like God speaks to us, right? Don't we? Like in everyday moments. I felt like God was telling me to go and buy like lunch for a homeless person, and I was like, man, I do not have the money to go and buy this homeless person lunch. Like I don't have much money as it is, but I went and did it anyway. And I was like, oh man, like what am I gonna do? But like I prayed to God and I was like, no, God, I know that you'll provide. And then it was like that very day, my sister rang up and she was just like, you know what? I just felt like to give you £50.
Oh,
And it was just like, oh, cool. That's like a tiny little thing.
But
But like, that's what I was saying with the healing, is like he does the big stuff, right, with the healing and stuff like that, but also he does that little everyday stuff, everyday answers to prayers as well,
So good. And I think and then I guess looking at all that kind of stuff, what's crazy is that this God that created the universe then cares enough to step into our stories and to be part of this narrative, which is beautiful. One of the things that Jesus said, and when we talk about this in schools a lot, and when we do gigs and when we do songs, is, you know, the enemy comes to kill, steal, and destroy, but Jesus came to give life so that we could live life to the full. What does that actually mean? What does it mean to be living life to the full? Because the reason why I'm asking this is because I guess, even though it's coming from a materialistic position, people that wanted to manifest and do all these kinds of things is because they want to live what they perceive is a fulfilled life, which personally I don't think is a fulfilled life. It's living life to the full. It's trying to fill their life with a whole bunch of empty stuff, materialistic stuff that's from a selfish perspective. But I believe that Jesus brings a totally different message. living life to the full, what does that actually mean? What does that actually look like?
Yeah, I think, like you said, I think many times we think living life to the full is living life for ourselves, and if we had everything we wish for, then everything would be great. But I think what's crazy about living life to the full, or whatever that means, is that it's actually the complete opposite. It's like living like for something that's greater than yourselves. And Jesus, when he's asked what the two greatest commandments are, is to love God and to love other people. And I think that's the way that we can live life to the full, by loving God with everything that we have, absolutely everything. And after that, loving other people. And just showing that same love that God showed us to the world around us. And actually, from that point, as we start to kind of want to see God move in the world and in other people's lives, actually, what's crazy is I think our desires and the things that we really want
100%.
change from us being selfish to us being like, if there's something greater, if there's something way above myself, then I want to see that happen. I don't care about like my life so much. I like, God, you do that stuff. Let's see that happen.
I remember as well, then there's a bit in the Bible, isn't there, where it says, I don't know if we were going to mention that, where
You're mentioning it now, so.
There you go.
It's not in the script.
God giving us our heart's desires, right? And that's what that means, isn't it? So it doesn't necessarily mean, when you're not with God, when you don't have a relationship with God, your heart and what you want is I think quite selfish and motivated by yourself. But then when your heart changes and God changes it, and the desires of your heart become something that is of Him and something that is motivated by something else other than yourself, which is loving God and loving people, then your heart's desires change, and then God will give you those things because they're good things. I think that's beautiful.
It's so good.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, guys. It's already 5:30.
Is it really?
Wow. 5:30.
Whoa.
So
That's quick.
Clay, any final thoughts before I wrap it up?
Any final thoughts?
Any or tip or
Tip?
No pressure.
there's no pressure.
Don't
10
manifest.
seconds.
Straight to the point. Don't do it. Don't do it. Great. So
That's my wisdom of today.
don't manifest. Don't manifest, guys. No, I'm joking. No, thanks, guys. But in all seriousness, though, I believe that there is a God that cares about you, that there is a God that loves you so much that He knows the amount of hairs that is on your head. I mean, even like with Joe, I know the amount of hairs that is on Joe's head because it's none. But even if you have
But on his chin, though, you
On
don't
his
know.
chin.
There's quite a lot on
There's
his
a lot of
That's still his head, I guess.
but God genuinely knows the amount of hairs on your head. He knows everything about you. He cares about you, and He loves you to the point that He wants to be in a relationship with you. And He made it possible through the death and the resurrection of His Son Jesus. This moment in history where God steps out of heaven onto earth with skin on. His name is Jesus. Lives a perfect life, a life that we could live, and He dies on the cross in our place. You see, we rebelled against God. We sinned. We decided to live for ourselves, and I think that's probably part of the problem. Or when we think about manifestations, you trying to live for yourself is about you, and that's the actual problem of the heart. Is all about yourself, isn't it? And God wants to flip that, and through Jesus we can actually live life to the full by putting our faith and our trust in Jesus. Jesus dies on the cross, but He comes back to life, which is the foundation of this Christian faith, the foundation of this adventure. And He invites us to be part of this adventure. All we need to do is put our faith and our trust in Jesus. We are here every week at 5 p.m, so make sure you come and join us. We're going to be talking about a whole bunch of other stuff, and if you want to know more about who Jesus is, click the link in the description and all of the different channels you're watching this, and you'll get a free Bible. And this Bible will go straight to you. You don't have to pay for anything. We'll pay for postage. We'll pay for everything. This could be yours. So make sure you tune in next Wednesday at 5 p.m. You are loved. Remember, God wants to be in a relationship with you. He wants to be in a friendship with you. He wants to hang out with you. So just chat with Him, and He will listen, and I believe that He will reply. Thank you so much, you guys, for joining this roundtable sessions. I look forward to having you guys back again. Where can people see your stuff, John?
You can find our stuff on Spotify if you want to listen to our music, or our YouTube channel, which is Soulbox Band. Again, type Soulbox in on YouTube or on Spotify, and you will get all of that good stuff.
Yes, true. What about you, Clay?
You can also find us on Spotify, on YouTube, on Insta, Facebook. We are Amongst Wolves. Check it out.
Right, and you got a video coming on Thursday, don't you?
We do.
Try not to laugh.
Yeah.
That's,
It's gonna
I'm
be
looking
good.
forward to
Did you
that.
laugh?
Did you laugh?
I wasn't in it.
Oh.
So I laughed too.
She didn't. What about you, Aidan? Where people can find your stuff?
So you can't find us on Spotify, but you can find us on Instagram at otc.band, and you can find us on YouTube at OTC. But do keep an eye out because we have got a single.
oi.
We have got a single coming out this month. Keep your eyes peeled.
What about you, Joe? Where can people can find your stuff?
All those places that have been mentioned. Also SoundCloud. And, you can't buy it in HMV, but you can purchase it on iTunes.
You can do that.
And search Brightline Band.
Yes.
We're on YouTube and all that good stuff.
Does anyone buy music from HMV anymore?
Yes,
Do you actually?
I do.
You are their one
vinyls,
customer.
Vinyls.
Oh,
Come on, baby, clear,
doesn't
Joe.
count,
Joe,
doesn't
you can't just say, you don't go and buy a
that's
CD.
music.
I know, yeah,
Yeah, I
you're
know,
right.
but that's
you don't
like
buy
a-
CDs.
That's like a thing.
I do
right?
from charity shops. If I see a good CD, I'll grab it.
True.
Well,
Thanks, guys. Anyway.
And Friday, we're all going to be live on this new show called Higher Live. Don't get confused, not Higher Life, it's Higher Life. On Friday, it's going to go down. It's going to be amazing right here. So make sure you check it out, and you'll be able to win a £50 voucher from a brand, which I'm not quite sure which one it is yet. But you'll find out on Friday. Love you guys. Remember, God loves you. See you next week. Peace.
God bless.
See you, everybody.
Yeah.